So first of all, what I wanted to say to you is if you've made it this far through the course, congratulations to you. You need like when I worked in the salon back in the 90s, we always spent quite a bit of money on having the latest high-end fashion and culture magazines air freighted. We'd get them in from London, Paris, and New York. And of course, this was partly for the client's pleasure, but more importantly, it was for us, the stylist, the team, to make sure that we always had the most relevant cultural and fashion references as visual inspiration for our work. And what it meant was that we were surrounding ourselves with the people and images and references we most wanted to be like, professionally, personally, artistically, and socially. And if you want to speak fashion, you got to know fashion. You got to know what conversations are happening. And if you can't have physical proximity, then virtual proximity is best next thing. And today with social media, it's way easier than it was back in the day, and it's totally free. You just have to know who to follow. So for you, I've put together a list of 88 Instagram accounts, and these are the ones I follow to make sure that I'm connected to the most relevant conversations. So in no particular order, here they are. Jean-Baptiste, and he's an incredibly technical hairstylist. He works with Guido's team. He's unreal with wigs. Sharif Hamza is a photographer with a really unique eye for beauty. He's got a super interesting range of subjects as well. Darren McDonald is one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. He's quiet, humble, understated, and it shows in his work. Maxine Leonard is the editor-in-chief of Beauty Papers magazine. It's a publication that's really pushing the boundaries and challenging the norms of traditional beauty. Alan Suhan is a super cool fashion stylist working with some of the world's leading image makers and fashion spokespeople. Kim Mahoney is an editorial stylist with a beautiful salon in Denmark, big fan. Sunny Van Veld is backstage at literally every single fashion show on the planet. I don't know how he does it. Greg Kessler, like Sunny, is often backstage, but he's got a much smaller beard than Sunny. There's Calvin Harris, and like all good Australians, he's also a Kiwi. Jenny Kim is an Australian session stylist living in New York, making her way up, so it's inspiring to watch her journey. Patty Busa is one of Guido's team that I used to work with. She's been in the team for about 15 years, and now she's making her own way with some big clients. Pip Maroney is the fashion editor for Vogue Australia. Stephen Chi is literally one of the very best when it comes to shooting hair and beauty. Suju Park is a Korean supermodel living in New York, bleached hair, super cool, nicest human ever. Eleanor Pendleton is the creator of Gritty Pretty, which is hard to say, and is a curated beauty destination. Sid Hayes is another one of Guido's ex-team members. We used to be on the team together. Now he's one of the top guys in London. Rudy Lewis is an awesome show hairdresser. Annabelle Davidson is the jewelry editor for Vanity Fair magazine. I love watching her Instagram just for the inspiration on jewelry, accessories, and shapes and textures. Malcolm Edwards is a staple of New York's fashion scene, a super talented hairstylist, one to keep an eye on for sure. Kat Scardino is a fashion stylist in Australia who's the epitome of cool minimalist fashion. Barnaby Roper, I don't know, just watch his videos. They're epic. Max Doyle is another great Australian photographer who also happens to be a Kiwi. Chris Coles is an Australian photographer living and working in New York and killing the game. Sarah Smith is an Australian fashion stylist who works with the biggest image makers and brands in Australian fashion. Pierre Toussaint, super cool photographer, street cool meets high fashion. That's Pierre Toussaint in a nutshell. Edwina McCann is the editor of Australian Vogue and a true powerhouse of the entire Australian fashion scene. Jennifer Stenglein is a photographer who creates magical, whimsical moments with her imagery. It's really lovely watching her work to see what the freedom of movement and energy can do for hair. Nicole Bentley is a photographer with an amazing eye. She's working with Australians' biggest fashion brands. Rach Wayman is the ex-fashion editor at Elle magazine. Derek Henderson is one of the most enduring characters in fashion and portraiture. A true artist, super cool cat. George Anthony is an incredibly technical photographer, amazing technician, and a huge love of and knowledge for fashion. Ludwig Poiblon is a fashion stylist who's working with the biggest names globally. Grace Cobb is the ex-fashion director for the iconic 90s fashion bible, The Face, a must follow. Donna Trope, one of my all-time favorite beauty photographers. Her work is kind of raw and polished all at the same time somehow. Baby Ghost is New York meets Shanghai in a super cool mix of street style and high fashion. Shema Yeste is an incredible photographer, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he makes hair look amazing. Paul Hanlon is a great show hairdresser to follow. He does Gucci, Moschino, etc. Aaron Henriksen used to be on Pat's team when we were on the show circuit together. He's now Madonna's makeup artist and wears cool clothes. James Peshis is another awesome show hairdresser to follow. Jonas Bresnan is an Australian photographer who's doing awesome work in Paris and New York. Virginia Young is a really inspiring makeup artist to follow. She works with high-end fashion brands and publications. Bob Racine is one of the original celebrity stylists. Eugene Solomon, the one, the only, the legendary Mr. Eugene Solomon. He's working at the top of the game in hair and fashion. He maintains a healthy lifestyle with his family. It's really inspiring to me. Sandy Hullett is literally one of the most technically skilled hairstylists I have ever had the pleasure of meeting and working with. Jamie Bosher is the epitome of cool. She's a musician, a model, a muse. Esther Langham used to be one of Guido's assistants as well. She's now making it big in her own career. Shay Ashwell, another awesome session stylist and a great show hairdresser. Kate Darville is the fashion editor at Vogue Australia and also mum to 5 under 5. Don't know how she does it. Holly Smith. Now, if you look up cool in the dictionary, there's literally a picture of Holly Smith right there. She is cool. Nicholas Jernjak is a masterful technician with hair, a wizard and an engineer. Aki Shirakawa is another example of an incredible international session stylist. Anthony Turner was one of Guido's assistants. He's made a huge name for himself now as a visionary hairstylist. Not to mention, he is literally one of the loveliest goths you'll ever meet. David Sims is an iconic photographer with a unique eye for beauty. Greg Cadell is a New York-based photographer with a really strong visual aesthetic. He captures energy in fashion and beauty. Sam McKnight, he became famous as Princess Diana's hairstylist. He's a staple on the show circuit. He's got some incredible clients. He's got a range of beautiful products as well. Odile Gilbert is the grande dame of French show hairdressing. You simply can't have a list without her on it. Then there's Duffy, who's another incredible show stylist based in New York, and he's got the best beard in the game. It's incredible. Jimmy Paul, another great show hairstylist, got to follow him. Daniel Jackson is a New York-based fashion photographer, super inspiring work. And there's Christian. He is famous for effortless raw hair. He creates magic on set just with his hands. He's an icon of the New York fashion scene and a legend in the game. Julian Dees is a true artisan, a painter, a sculptor, a hairstylist. And Ray Kawakubo will often give him a single word as the brief for the Comme des Garçons show and won't see the hair until the day of the show. That's how much she trusts his creative vision. Serge Normand is Sarah Jessica Parker's hairstylist. MAP is an agency that has offices in Sydney and New York. They rep some great photographers, but they've just got a great Instagram to follow. Lucia Peroni is a makeup artist who works on some of the biggest shows. Fabian Baron is quite possibly the most important art director in fashion and in culture in the fashion magazine world in the past 2 decades. Willy van der Peer, I just love his eye for beauty. The way that he sees shapes is cool. Renato Campora is a celeb hairstylist. Lucia Picker is a rising star in the makeup world. She's Chanel's global ambassador. Yeah. Alistair McClellan is a British photographer whose images really captured the essence of British youth in the 90s. Glenn Luckford is an iconic 90s photographer who's still very relevant today. Lachlan Bailey is another Aussie doing big things globally with his photography. Gilles Bensimon is a New York-based old school legend of the game. Then there's Vintage Vogue, which is a great resource for beauty inspo. And Kate Moss, of course, who wouldn't want to follow the inimitable Miss Moss. Alessandro Michele, who is the creative director for Gucci, and he's the guy sort of responsible for the resurrection of the brand as a cool brand. Sarah Mino is a fashion editor at Italian Vogue, a huge supporter of emerging talent. Peter Phillips is a really timeless, talented, beautiful makeup artist and a staple of the show circuit. Streeters is another agency based in New York. They've got some incredible talent. Pat McGrath, the one, the only, mother. Luigi Muranu is responsible for the hair in countless Kerastase campaigns. Nicola Formichetti, he's the creative director at Givenchy. Edward Enningful is the editor-in-chief of British Vogue. Ellen von Unworth is a legend of photography. The way that she sees the strength and playfulness of women, it's just awesome. Porenza Schuller's great fashion fix to follow. Gucci Westman is an amazing makeup artist. Val Garland, another amazing makeup artist working on the shows. Guido Palau, look, there can be only one name, Guido. And then there's Ward Stegerhoek. Ward, if you want to spice up your life with the most outrageous memes, along with some epic hair fashion moments, then Ward is the only one for you. Look, that list is by no means comprehensive, right? But it's definitely a good start if you want to surround yourself with the people you most want to be like, professionally, personally, and socially. And like I said, if you want to speak fashion, you got to know fashion.